Hey ladies and gentlemen, what is up? I hope you're all taking care of yourselves really well with another video. I wasn't going to do a video today, but I decided to do one anyways because I really wanted to talk about the subject and it was like, I can't wait until tomorrow. So I'm going to talk about it now, okay? And so here it is, or here it comes, okay? So today we're going to discuss spirituality, okay, and the unseen world, okay. So if this topic is not for you, then feel free to wait for some of my other videos, okay. Some of my other videos are very down to earth, right? So I discuss the body, right, physiology and so on, and I don't know, nutrition, right, and psychology and emotionality, right, and all of those things, right, relationships. But some of the topics, they're not going to be for everyone, right? And so as everyone, I suppose, everyone is at their own consciousness level, right? And so we all have our own spiritual journeys or life journeys, right? And this topic is not going to be for everyone, okay? And the reason being is because some people don't believe in this stuff, right? And that is okay, right? If you don't believe in this, it's okay. Just like watch this video, take it with a grain of salt and just watch it for entertainment if you so wish to do so, But anyways, today we're going to discuss demons. Okay, and we're going to discuss demons and how you can spot a person who is a demon. Okay, and I'm going to give you 6 different signs that can help you spot a demon, okay, or a demonically possessed person. Okay, as you guys know, right, of course not too many people are demonically possessed, right? A lot of them are demonically oppressed, right? And you can listen to a lot of like I mentioned before, right? You can listen to Derek Prince lectures on that, right? And a couple of other guys that I watch too, okay? And they talk about how demonic possession actually happens, okay? And of course the demonic possession happens more often than not through trauma, right? And so that's why I think so many they always start with kids, right? And it starts very early on, and they want to traumatize the kids, right? Whether through I don't know, stealing them, right? There are a lot of cases of like human trafficking going on, right? And of course, there's the things that they even watch, right? So be careful in terms of, if you have kids, be careful with what you're allowing them to watch, okay? Always make sure, even the stuff that's on YouTube, right? There's a lot of stuff that's very inappropriate, okay? A lot of Disney movies even, so be careful with what you're allowing them to watch. What I would recommend, of course this is another topic, right, is to kind of like sit down, right? Go ahead and sit down with them and watch a couple of shows. If you're letting them watch certain shows, go ahead and sit down with them and watch them yourself and see what it's actually about, right? And so this should give you a fairly good idea what it's about. Don't just go with the subscribers on the channel, right, or how popular the show is, okay? As you guys know, this world is removed from God for the most part, right? We're removed from source, so a lot of people are lost, okay? And so most people don't even consider the spiritual world, right? We're living in the physical world, so most people are they're operating on the surface, right? They only see the physicality. What you see is what you get, right? And that's it. They don't see below the surface. They don't even consider the spiritual implications of sex, for example, right? Or even demonology, right? Or demonology. No. I have no idea what I just said, okay? But demonology? Yeah, anyways, I don't know. I forgot that term, okay? But they don't consider that there's a spiritual world, right? And so that's a big problem, because there is a spiritual world out there, okay? And if you are not aware of it, then your own body might get affected or impacted, okay? And you're not even going to be aware of it, right? You're not going to be aware of it. You're not going to be aware of your perhaps spiritual oppression and even spiritual possession, okay? Possessions are real, guys. I did make a video once on the fact that my own mother was possessed, okay? It happened to me when I was in high school at my house, okay? And that was just a really crazy experience. I was very scared, and I will never forget it, you know? And I thought my mom was just going crazy, okay? And so, yeah, yeah, but anyways, I already talked about this in one of my other videos, right? And so yes, and so you can watch a lot of lectures on this by various YouTube channels, right? There are a lot of lectures that you know, many well-known pastors and like exorcists talk about, right? They discuss this in details, how a lot of people get possessed, right? And then they start speaking in tongues, right? They it's like in the movies too, you know, for some a lot of demons, right? If it is a demon, they will know a lot of information about you that is like dark information, you know. So if you've got anything to hide, or maybe you don't want anything to get out, right? Or maybe you did something in the past that you're not too proud of, right? They're going to know this information, which is really interesting, you know. So there's that, right? Which is kind of it's kind of like in the movies, you know. I think, what was that movie that talked about this? I forgot. I forgot the movie. Okay, but yeah, I forgot the name of that movie. Okay, but yeah, there was a guy basically, right, and he was like the devil, right, and so he lived in Los Angeles, right, and he would basically he would find different victims, right, and he would come up to them and he would tell them, you know, the dark information about themselves, and they would be like, huh, you know, like, I don't know, you cheated on your wife or something, right? And like, and the guy would be like, huh? You know, or something like this, basically, right? Or basically, like, if these people sinned in one way or another, the demon would know about it, right? Or the devil, right? And so this is the same. It's actually true, yeah. And so, so there's okay, so let's get back to, right, how it is a spiritual battle that we're facing, right? And so you know, we're not battling against the flesh and blood, right? But rather we're battling against dark entities, right? And the principalities of this world, right? And so I think that because of the fact that people have they became so far removed from source, from God, right, from nature, more and more people are beginning to get impacted by this oppression, even possession, okay? And so that's not a good thing, okay? That's why we need to wake up, you know? That's why we need to get back out into nature. That's why we need to heal, right? Because, you know, demons, right? They want you traumatized, because traumatized people are extremely vulnerable and susceptible to possession, you know. And so if you don't heal your trauma, right, I'm not saying that everyone will be possessed, right, of course not, but there's a possibility of that, right? And so that's why it's so imperative for all of us to heal and to get back out into nature and to remember who we are, right? And to remember our you know, genetics, and to honor them, right, as human beings. We're human beings, right? We're meant to be in nature. We're meant to be with animals. We're meant to eat natural foods, right? We're meant to live natural lives, right? So anything that's artificial, including cars, right, including you know, the internet, right, social media, right, even AI, that's extremely popular. It's becoming more popular, right? Everything, all of that is artificial, and it has been proven. Science has proven this already. You don't need science, right? It has proven that all of this stuff is affecting us in a negative way, right? And so we need to remember that, and we need to wake up, okay, and start limiting all of that stuff, That's not good for us. We need to start limiting it, you know, and getting back out into nature and, you know, leaving our phones at home and things like that. Anyways, but I think I'm getting too far off tangent here, right? So let's get back to demons, right? And how can you identify them, okay? Well, first of all, okay, like I said in another video, right? First of all, narcissist, right? A lot of people are learning about narcissism nowadays, right? And about sociopaths, about psychopaths, right? And so psychology will label them this, right? And so someone who is like this is highly, highly, highly traumatized, okay? And once again, right, the more traumatized an individual is, right, and the less aware of that they are, the more likely they are to become very possessed, right, or possessed, okay? And so there's that, right? And so okay, so here are some signs, okay, that a person is more likely to be demonically possessed, okay? Not oppressed, right? There's a big difference, okay, but possessed. When it comes to oppression, okay, someone is, the person is like under demonic influences, right? And so they might display some negative traits, right? Because they're doing things that are harmful to themselves and to others potentially too, okay? And so they might fall into sin and things like that, you know, and but they won't be evil, okay? And when it comes to possession, though, that's very different, okay? Because when someone is possessed, okay, they're going to display a two-face. They're going to be just like the narcissist, right, who just takes off their mask. There's going to be the switch, right, and they're going to just go insane, right, and they're going to show their demonic side, basically, right? So they have this, like, there's this, like, it seems like there's this normal person, right, and then there's another person that not too many people see, right, but there's usually one individual that sees them, right, that real side of them. But it's actually, it's very likely that when the mask falls off, it's the demon that actually takes over, okay? So so they have two sides to them, right? There's a Jack and Hyde, right? And so yes, there's that, right? And so of course the other side is extremely scary. The other people will not believe them at all, because for the most part the demon has a very superficial side to them, right? And so just like in the movies, right, in the movies they show you how you know, it's usually this handsome guy or a handsome woman, or I mean beautiful woman, right? And they charm everyone's pants off, right? That's one of their other traits, is the charm, right? They're going to be super charming. They're going to be popular, right? Everyone is gonna, like, they're gonna know a lot of people, basically, on the surface, right? But with demons, everything is on the surface, okay? They're always trying to get your energy, right? They're trying to get. Basically, they don't like giving, right? They don't want to give, okay? They like to receive, okay? And so they become this very popular girl or a guy, right? And they are after everyone's energy, okay? So anyone who is getting more energy than themselves, which is usually the chosen one or God's child, right, they're going to hate them for that too, okay? Because demons have to work also, they have to manipulate a lot of people, right? They have to they feel like they feel like basically that they have to put in a lot of work in order to get that energy, okay? Whereas the chosen one gets that attention effortlessly, right? And without even wanting to, okay? And so there's the big difference there, right? But anyways, back to the demons, right? You can also easily spot a demon by the eyes, okay? The eyes of a demon are demonic, okay, guys? They have a lot of anger in them, a lot of hatred, right? Guys, I've been on dates before, okay, with certain guys, and their eyes were demonic. I remember one guy in particular, okay, and that was in Florida, right? And I went on a date with him, and I looked him into the eyes, and they were just so scary and demonic, and he looked at me with this hatred, and in his eyes it looked like he could kill, you know, he could kill me or someone else, like, you know, today, right? And so I was really like, after that I was like, what am I doing, you know? I was not as conscious as I am now, right? Of course I shouldn't have even gone on a date with him. I don't know why. It was during the date that I actually noticed his eyes, right? But maybe it wasn't apparent to me before. I don't know, right? Or maybe I was just too focused on the physical to notice, you know, on the physical, on the rest of him, right? And not just his eyes. But now, of course, I make sure to pay attention to the eyes, because they truly are the window to our soul. Okay, and so make sure that you're paying attention to the eyes. The eyes of a demon are, they will tell you everything that you need to know, to be honest with you. They will tell you they're you know, they're going to be dead. Okay, they're going to be dead just like they are on the inside. There's no soul there. There's nothing left, right? The person who was there before, right, is like a shell of a person. Okay, and so there's that, right? There's also demons are going to be extremely hateful, jealous, angry. Okay, they're going to be angry. They're going to display this anger every once in a while. They will have huge explosions, right? And there's also that, right? They're going to be extremely jealous, okay? And so if you tell them anything good, or if they hear anything good, right? Or if they even see anything good, they're going to be really jealous of it. And you will often see it, okay? If you pay attention. Pay attention to their body language, pay attention to their expressions, right? You will see the jealousy come out, okay? They get jealous very often, okay? They don't like other people doing well. They don't like other people to do better than them. And yes, even if you do tell them something about yourself, they will not like that. They will want to be in your shoes. They will tell you something like, "Oh, how did you get this? I want that," you know. And so there's that, right? Of course, if you're a very sensitive person and you can read energy, okay, they're going to be extremely low vibrational, right? And so this is going to be very apparent to an empathetic individual, right? Someone who's an empath, someone who is very good at reading energy, someone who's a chosen one, right? A God's child, right? Someone who has healed their trauma and who has gotten in touch with their own emotions. They're going to be able to read energy very easily, right? Not only the energy of the room, right, or of different cities even, or environments, right, but they're going to be able to read the energy of a demonically possessed individual, okay? And it's going to be a very dark energy, and they're going to be able to tell very easily, okay? So initially, they're not going to be attracted to them at all, but over time, there might, well, I'm not going to go into it, okay? But once again, if you're in a good state, right? If an empath is in a good state themselves, then they're not going to be, definitely not going to be attracted to that low vibrational energy, right? And so they're going to be able to tell, okay? If they are not, however, if they are not in a good state themselves, right, for whatever reason, right, then they might get into a relationship with a narc or a demon, right, or a demonically possessed individual, okay? For the most part, I've always, when I got into relationships like this, right, I was always able to tell initially. I was attracted to the physical, right, but energetically it wasn't there, right? I was, something was repelling me from that individual. I was kind of disgusted in a way by their energy, right? But at the same time, it is your opposite. So there's going to be this weird attraction too, right? And so it's very strange, right? Because demons also, they can be very charming, right? And they have this, also, they have this magnetic pull in a way, right? Kind of like the chosen ones, right? In a way that they kind of pull you in, draw you in, and something about them is very kind of intriguing, right? And so that's interesting, right? And so there's that right there. And so, so you know, you have to be careful, right? And oh, also another thing that I will mention, right, is that demons, they don't discriminate, you know, when it comes to sex, for example, right? So if it's a guy, if it's a girl, the girl might be, you will notice that she's probably going to be bisexual, okay? The guy will be gay, or he will be bisexual too, okay? And so there's that, right? Demons do not care about which sex, right? In fact, they will sin, basically, okay? And that's what they're going to do. They're going to do everything that's anti-God, basically, right? They're going to display anger, jealousy, hatred, sin, right? Like in terms of sexuality, they'll have a lot of sex. Even if they're in monogamous relationships, they're going to have a lot of sex outside of that, okay? Behind closed doors. And so their partner might not even be aware of it, right? If they're not as intuitive or sensitive, okay? And so there's that, right? And also, yeah, they're also going to be extremely competitive, right? So there's that, right? So they're going to be extremely competitive, and they're also they're going to be extremely competitive, right? But so they cannot work as a team, as a unit. They're going to always compete with you. They're going to go against you. You're going to feel like you're with an enemy, okay? So they're not going to be on your side, okay? So just a disclaimer, guys, right? Anyway, so yeah, so they're going to be after God's children. They're going to be mostly after the chosen one, because they know the chosen ones generate a lot of energy, right? By being connected to source energy, by being connected to God. So in fact, they want to get that energy and use it for themselves, right? So that's where the destiny swap comes in, okay? They can actually, by getting into a relationship with an unconscious empath or God's child, right? The one that's unaware of who they are yet, right? They might, what they're going to end up doing is they can end up destiny swapping with that individual and getting their luck, basically, right? Or getting their fortune, or getting their energy, right? And siphoning that energy, and in turn, you know, benefiting from that energy, basically, okay? And the other individual, of course, the empath, is going to begin to experience a lot of bad fortune, basically, right? And they're going to start getting sick themselves, you know, looking older, and it's pretty crazy how that works, you know, but I've experienced it in my life, okay? Whereas I just started basically, it's like taking a rose, right? And just completely like sucking it dry, right? And not watering it, right? Basically, so eventually it's going to like, but just imagine that rose or that water, that life going into something else, right? I don't know if that's a good metaphor for it, but you get the point, basically, right? It's like kind of like that's what a demon does, right? They're going to siphon that energy. They're going to use it to build their own life up, right? To get rich, to get promotions, to whatever, right? They're going to leave the other person extremely drained, right? And so that's where also, you know, that's why like a lot of people, right, once they leave certain relationships, they experience these glow ups, right? They basically they lose weight, right? They maybe they gain weight, right, if they needed to. And they get healthy again, right? Like physically speaking and spiritually speaking too, right? And emotionally speaking. So they just, they blossom after leaving certain relationships, right? Where this can also be because of that, okay? So not always, of course, right? But sometimes, you know? And so there's that, right? And so be careful, guys, who you get involved with, okay? Demons are very, very dangerous, okay? They're extremely, extremely hateful, okay? And in fact, they can kill you, okay? They can kill you. My mom once, when I was running up the stairs in our house, that was our last time that I was in the house, right? She threw a knife this big at me. She threw a knife and I was running up the stairs. She almost killed me, basically, okay? And yeah. And so this is like really scary, right? And so I was just shocked, but at the same time, later on, of course, years later, right, I realized what happened, who she was. And so I started seeing things from a completely different perspective, okay? A word of caution, of course, guys, is don't think that everyone is possessed, okay? As one exorcist said, right? He said the possessions are not that common, okay? Hopefully, okay? I personally don't know, okay? I don't know, right? How would I know this? I don't know. I'm humble enough to admit, the information that I don't know, right? But I do believe that the more people that get traumatized, right, the more people that do not get this much needed healing, the more people will start getting possessed, and eventually, right, or at least oppressed, right, demonically oppressed, whereas you get all kinds of different thoughts, right, that are not coming from you. Okay, that's so there's that, right? That's why it's so important for you to take care of yourself. That's why it's so important for you to, to start eating quality foods, to get the much needed help, whether in therapy, through therapy, right, or by talking to a good friend, right? That's why it's important for you to move to an environment that's really good for you and beneficial for your health, okay, such as the countryside, and that's why it's so important for you to start listening to good music that suits you rather than harms you, right? And so there are a lot of things that you can do, okay, to heal yourself and to, keep yourself spiritually protected, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video, okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in another video, okay? Bye.